Days of Our Lives spoilers update for the week of December 15th and 19 reveals that Rachel Black will face a sad setback while Rafe Hernandez moves forward with an FBI bust. Chad DiMera and Theo Carver will also get another surprise in the crypt, so let's discuss all the dual drama. After Alex Kyriakis and Stephanie Johnson get tested to see if they've been exposed to a bio threat, they should breathe a sigh of relief. Stephanie and Alex should get positive updates despite that powder-filled envelope that showed up at their place. However, this scare will light a fire in Steve Johnson and will make him more determined to figure out who's behind the creepy fan mail. It could be Owen Kent, who previously kidnapped Stephanie and developed an obsession with her. Other days spoilers say Belle Black will give Marlena Evans a pep talk and perhaps assure her that Brady Black will forgive her in time. Now that Brady's living at the Kyriakis mansion, Xander Kyriakis will find out and put Sarah Horton through a grilling session. Sarah is entitled to move on if she wants to, but that doesn't mean Xander will be happy about her growing connection to Brady. In the meantime, Brady and Tate Black will console Rachel as she faces a sad setback. Rachel may learn she won't be coming home for Christmas and have a meltdown, but Tate and Brady will offer support. Of course, Sophia Choi may come along and put a smile on Rachel's face later. Maybe Sophia will suggest Rachel could help her with another little field trip to keep her mind off her troubles. In captivity, Kristen DiMera will lash out at EJ DiMera now that he's landed in the crypt too. If it comes out that Rachel's been admitted to Bayview, Kristen may assume EJ triggered her daughter's memory and demand answers. Whatever the case, Days spoilers say, Kristen will get into a major struggle with EJ as Chad tries to break up the sibling rivalry. Chad and Theo will both get a shock later when a new captive is thrown in the crypt. It'll be Peter Blake, so Kristen's brother and Stefano's adoptive son will become part of all the latest DiMera action. Next, Rafe will investigate the lab that Mark Green works in. Days spoilers say Rafe will bang on the door and insist it's the FBI, so he'll push Mark to open up immediately. Rafe may hope to bust Mark doing illegal activities for EJ, but Mark should be smart enough to cover his tracks for now. As for Kat Green, she may rip into Rafe for trying to make trouble for her brother. This investigation is about EJ's takedown as far as Kat's concerned, but Rafe may warn Mark could go down with him. At some point, Jennifer Horton Devereaux will break the news to Thomas DiMera that Chad still hasn't shown up anywhere. Thomas may fear it's his fault for pushing his dad away and worry about the trouble Chad's in now. Across town, Jeremy Horton will connect with Liam Selejko. But will their friendship lead to problems? Liam and Jeremy may both feel like misunderstood outcasts in Salem, but they could also bring out the worst in each other. Elsewhere, Kate Roberts Brady will give Ariana Ari Horton some great guidance, while Gabby Hernandez shoves down the guilt she feels about hiding things from Philip Kyriakis. Chanel will also find out she's pregnant soon, so that'll throw her for a loop due to her medical condition and overwhelm her since she just adopted a baby with Johnny DiMera. Days of Our Lives spoilers say some other twists and turns are coming up, so stay tuned. The previous week on Days of Our Lives saw Johnny and Chanel getting worried as more and more DiMeras started disappearing. Theo was next in the list after Tony, Kristen, and Chad. Xander confided in Marlena about his thoughts, while Sarah and Brady continued to get even closer over time. The drama, the worry, the jealousy, the danger, the fear, the chaos, and the plotting are about to get more heated in the next few weeks. Here's what the fans can expect from the December 15th, 2025 episode of Days of Our Lives when they tune into Peacock to stream the daytime drama set in Salem. The first episode of the week features Alex and Stephanie panicking. The moment he opens a letter with his name, a white powder bursts through, making the situation confusing and dangerous. Alex is instantly on guard and tells Stephanie to stay away as the letter is filled with something. Is this somehow connected to the anonymous emails she has been getting from a stalker? Is this going to put the couple on alert even more? On the other hand, Jada takes action. What could this be about? Is this related to some case? Or is this regarding Theo's disappearance after their date? Meanwhile, Steve makes a decision. Is this about some spy work, or is this related to her daughter Stephanie, who is finding herself unsafe after the continuous emails And now, the crazy letter filled with dangerous powder for her boyfriend Alex. Who is this stalker? And will Steve hunt him down? When Susan turns on Gwen, is this because of EJ? Is she trying to keep her son safe? Or does she not trust Gwen and her intentions? Is Susan really unaware that EJ has been working with Gwen? And then lastly, Chad and Theo fill in the newest captive. It's time for the DiMera crypt to get fuller. EJ has been thrown into the crypt next, and will be surprised to find all those who have gone missing present there. He is bound to have questions, and thankfully for him, Chad and Theo are willing to fill him in on what has been happening. Will all 5 of them be able to find a way out of that crypt? Peacock's Days of Our Lives is an American soap opera that first premiered on November 8, 1965, and was created by Betty Corday and Ted Corday. The show is critically acclaimed and has won several Daytime Emmy Awards for its compelling storylines and plot arcs of the characters. The show is set in the fictional city of Salem and revolves around the lives of the members of the Kyriakis, Brady, Horton, and DiMera families. Days of Our Lives focuses on central themes of familial rivalry, business transactions, romantic relationships, and mob agendas. In the upcoming week's episodes of Days of Our Lives from December 15th to December 19th, 2025, spoilers and previews suggest that things will get interesting in Salem. Brady Black will take time out of his schedule to regularly visit Rachel, but she would not divulge any details regarding Sophia Choi to him and keep her scheme a secret. Meanwhile, Stephanie Johnson's stalker will potentially plan an attack on Alex Kyriakis, and while trying to open some mail, there would be a sudden powder explosion. In addition to these developments, a huge fight will break out between EJ DiMera and Kristen DiMera, and it could potentially turn into something physical as well, and Chad DiMera would have to step in to de-escalate the situation between the two of them. In the upcoming week's episodes of Days of Our Lives, from December 15th to December 19th, 2025, spoilers reveal that Brady Black will travel to Bayview, taking some time out from his busy schedule, to visit his daughter, Rachel Black, and be relieved when he sees that her mood has improved. Rachel will not reveal any details of how she has been spending time lately with Sophia Choi and coming up with schemes to Brady, and he will be kept in the dark completely. Spoilers reveal that Alex Kyriakis will be caught in the middle of a mysterious powder explosion while opening some mail, and the suspect will be Stephanie Johnson's stalker. Stephanie's stalker had made it clear that he wanted to get rid of her boyfriend, and this could be that scenario. Stephanie will end up calling 911 for help, while Jada Hunter will help out by alerting the hospital and the fire department to check for any biohazards. Spoilers of Days of Our Lives reveal that in the upcoming week's episodes, EJ DiMera will lose his cool as a hostage and end up getting into a huge fight with Kristen DiMera. He will potentially reveal to her that Rachel is in Bayview, and that would make her lose her calm. Their fight might get physical, and Chad DiMera will intervene. Days of Our Lives spoilers suggest that Abigail DiMera may still be alive. There have been several clues recently dropped by Duol that Abigail is still out there. Clyde Weston supposedly had some big secret to tell Chad DiMera 9 Billy Flynn before he was shot by Katharina Green and slipped into a coma. Fans may recall that Chad was in the middle of a grilling session with Clyde to find out the truth concerning the whereabouts of Abby's remains. Clyde told Chad that Abby was really alive. Unfortunately, he never had the chance to explain before Katharina pulled the trigger. Recently, we saw most of the DiMera family in the family crypt. They discovered human bones hidden in the ground, and Chad said he thought they might belong to his late wife, Abigail. However, Theo Carver had determined that the bones were from a male. Clearly, Chad's heart still belongs with his beloved Abby. He's tried desperately to move on, but he simply can't. The closest Chad came was when he was dating Kat Green. Sadly, his son, Thomas DiMera, issued Chad an ultimatum: break up with Kat, or he would never forgive him for disrespecting his mother's memory. When Kat first arrived in Salem, she worked with Clyde and pretended to be Abigail to trick Chad into marriage. Clyde believed that if Kat became Chad's wife, she could get her hands on the DiMera fortune. Kat was being coerced into this because Clyde was keeping her mother prisoner. He also threatened to kill her if she didn't come through for him. Kat is deeply sorry for what she did and has tried to make amends. However, Jennifer Horton Devereaux and Julie Williams have done nothing but judge Kat harshly and behave self-righteously. Chad couldn't handle the pressure anymore, and he felt forced to break up with Kat. That said, fans never really accepted Chad's relationship with Kat and have wanted their Chabby to reunite for years. When Jack Devereaux went to dig up Abby's grave, the body was missing. Chad has never moved past his love for Abby, and viewers know that no other woman could ever compare in Chad's eyes. Connor Floyd will soon take over as Chad from Billy Flynn, and we suspect a Chabby reunion may be brewing. The soap could even start fresh, with a recast Abby, since there is a new Chad. Plus, since Jack and Jennifer have come to accept that their daughter is truly gone, it's plausible that the show could actually be setting the stage for her return. Abigail is an iconic character who is still mentioned quite often, and it stands to reason that every time they point out that Abigail is gone, it could mean the exact opposite. That's generally how the soap world works. Truthfully, we wish Kate Mansi could reprise the role, but she currently plays Christina Corinthos Davis on General Hospital. With the amount of interest that always seems to surround the mere mention of Abigail, she may still be out there somewhere. Maybe that's how Billy Flynn exits the show. Chad could go off looking for Abby and return with a new face in the form of Connor Floyd. Days of Our Lives fans are eager for spoilers as the new week rolls in. As always, the popular soap opera is back with more intense moments and dramatic unraveling storylines. As such, some are looking for a preview of what the show has in store for some beloved characters this week. So, here's everything you need to know. Here's the Days of Our Lives spoilers preview for each day this week. The week kicks off with Alex and Stephanie beginning to panic about their situation, while Jada springs into action. Meanwhile, Steve makes a major decision as Susan betrays Gwen, marking a change in the course of their relationship. Elsewhere, Chad and Theo have a chat with the newest captive. This episode will see Chanel offer comfort to Johnny amid his struggle. Meanwhile, tension brews between Kat and Rafe after a major disagreement. Also, Gabby ends up attacking Gabby. Finally, Gwen attempts to give Leo a good scare and intimidate him. In this episode, Belle offers some reassuring words to Marlena, while Xander interrogates Sarah. Meanwhile, a distressed Rachel receives some consolation from Brady and Tate. Finally, things take a tense turn when Kristen confronts EJ with a shocking accusation. The penultimate episode of this week will see Stephanie, Alex, and Steve come together to figure things out. Elsewhere, Jeremy and Liam spend some bonding time as Thomas receives some difficult news from Jennifer. Also, Abe gets a supportive hand from Paulina, while Theo and Chad have some thoughts about death. In the final episode of this week, Kate gives some solid advice to Ari, while Chanel desperately tries to conceal some distressing news from Johnny. Additionally, Gabby hides her guilt during a conversation with Philip. Finally, the DiMera crypt fills up with another captive. Conspiracies from undisclosed enemies are at the door on Days of Our Lives. As the DiMera family, chaos claims another victim. At the same time, Stephanie's relentless fan poses a threat to her boyfriend, Alex, endangering the lives of Salem residents in a possible biohazard threat. However, the complications may be handled well in the capable hands of Commissioner Jada. The previous episodes of Days of Our Lives in the past couple of weeks played out the danger terrorizing the DiMera family as Stefano's children vanished from the Living Society one by one, only to end up as hostages inside the family's crypt. As the siblings kept inviting a new hostage each time, they found their condition baffling. Moreover, Theo dug out what seemed like human remains in the crypt's floor. At the same time, they wondered whether EJ could be behind this scenario, which Theo found reassuring since EJ would not have them killed. However, their suspected culprit soon found them in a similar situation. Incidentally, Rafe and Kat also considered EJ a prime suspect, but found no evidence against him. However, Leo uncovered evidence against Gwen for allegedly colluding with EJ on a secret lab at the hospital. Elsewhere, Stephanie also faced a peculiar situation as she received a slew of mails from the same fan. Alex had Steve look into one of the creepy mails, which the detective confirmed to be from a stalker. For Stephanie's safety, Alex landed at her Chicago hotel but missed the unknown people hovering outside her room. However, he landed in danger himself. As mentioned before, Alex worried about Stephanie's safety as he had one of her fan mails checked by Steve. Moreover, Holly informed him that Stephanie has received a slew of such creepy mails from the same fan. While Alex tried to look out for Stephanie's safety, the couple had recently started planning their Christmas celebration, discussing their future together. On Friday, December 12, 2025, Alex opened an envelope addressed to him, only to have white powder blow onto his face. The viewers also saw an exchange of mails between two undisclosed users, where one user, identifying as Devoted and Unseen, advised not to kill since jail time will undo any opportunity of getting the girl. The reply was typed by another user named SansFan69, who emphasized not getting caught. Since Days of Our Lives. Fans know that Stephanie's secret fan wants Alex out of her life. The mail is likely to harm or eliminate Alex. As such, this may be a bioweapon, as Commissioner Jada believes. The plan is likely to kill Alex and go undetected, so that the fans can get closer to Stephanie. If it is a bioweapon, it may have long-term repercussions on Salem, as it may harm more people other than Alex. As viewers saw on December 12, 2025, Alex, unaware, opened a letter addressed to him. Since he was not expecting anything malevolent aimed at him, his first reaction to the powder falling out was surprise. However, he may soon suspect something weird and hazardous in the powder in his letter. The Days of Our Lives spoilers suggest that Alex will predict something fishy and forbid Stephanie from coming near the powder or him. He may urge her to call 911 for rescue. Stephanie may inform the first responders about the complete situation. With Commissioner Jada informing multiple authorities, the couple may panic about the danger they face. Alex will eventually be taken to the hospital for observation and treatment. Meanwhile, Steve will learn about the latest events and decide to dig more into the identity of Stephanie's fan. As mentioned earlier, Stephanie will call the first responders and inform them of their situation. As the police commissioner, Jada will soon get on top of this. Fearing the powder attack to be a biohazard, the cop will move other departments, such as the fire department. While she will have the hospital take Alex in, she will inform them about the suspected danger. She may have the fire department take charge of the material from the location while ensuring no further spread of the hazardous substance. The Days of Our Lives spoilers suggest that Jada will show calm authority in the face of this peril befallen on the city. Whether she will track the delivery of the package and trace it back to its source as part of her investigation remains to be seen. So far, on the Peacock soap, EJ has not been seen as much concerned about the sudden disappearance of his siblings. This made him a prime suspect for many, including Rafe and Kat. Moreover, Dr. Rolfe informed him that Susan had discovered him coming out of the tunnels. As such, EJ had all evidence of a human presence in the secret room wiped out, and Jada did not find anything on her warranted search. However, on Friday, December 12, 2025, he vanished from his mansion just after having a conversation with Gwen and making a mysterious call. The episode ended with Chad and Theo discovering that the next delivery in the DiMera crypt is an unconscious EJ, while Gwen discovered EJ's phone on the mansion floor. The upcoming storyline of Days of Our Lives will find EJ regaining consciousness to find himself surrounded by his siblings, whom he believed had gone missing for various reasons. Chad and Theo will likely apprise the newest hostage about their arrival and what they have found so far. They may soon be joined by Tony and Kristen after the latter wakes up from their slumber. The family may discuss the human remains and more about their abductions. Since EJ's abduction will prove him innocent before his family members who suspected him, EJ may make his own guesses on who might be behind the kidnappings. He may also offer his theory about the reason for holding them away from civilized society. Meanwhile, the soap's spoilers hint at more abductions coming up in the future plot. Elsewhere, Susan will likely discover that her son is missing like the other DiMera members. She may suspect Gwen and will want to question her. Since Gwen likely has no knowledge about EJ's sudden absence, she may insist on her innocence. Tune into Days of Our Lives to catch all the drama surrounding EJ's kidnapping and Alex's bio-attack in the upcoming episode. The upcoming episode sees several Salem residents juggling personal stress, unexpected encounters, and decisions that could change their relationships. From private frustrations to emerging threats, everyone finds themselves at a crossroads, unsure which turn will bring relief and which will cause chaos. Chad spends time with Gabby, using the moment to release his growing frustration. He feels pressure from multiple sides, and Gabby listens as he expresses concerns about the custody battle surrounding Tommy and Charlotte. Meanwhile, Gabby has worries of her own. After learning Tony has gone missing, she may be turning to Rafe for information, and perhaps weighing whether this situation gives her an opening to push for company control after being double-crossed. Elsewhere, Brady is surprised when he finds Xander at his door. Xander may not realize Marlena is in the hospital, leaving him to wonder why she isn't home for their sessions. His anger management progress could be tested soon, especially if the topic of Sarah comes up, along with her growing friendship with Brady. The tension between the men raises the question of whether Xander can keep his calm or if old habits might surface. Jada steps away from her demanding job as police commissioner to enjoy a date with Theo at book club. Their connection gives both of them a chance to breathe, even as the world around them grows more complicated. Whether their evening goes smoothly remains to be seen. At the Brady pub, EJ can't resist entering the conversation between Lucas and Rafe, especially since they appear to be discussing their shared past with Sammy and her newest engagement news. It's the nightmare before Christmas, literally in Salem. And as teased in the latest Peacock promo for Days, and combined with official Days of Our Lives spoilers for the action the week of December 15th and 19th, will anyone be having a holly jolly holiday? In story, Dr. Mark Green, who is all kinds of suspicious, is working in EJ's strange lab when none other than Rafe and the FBI show up. Meanwhile, EJ, who was drugged by Mark's sister, Kat, had landed in the DiMera crypt with the rest of his siblings, and by week's end, teasers share another captive will join the group, which we could only assume will be Peter Blake. After all, and as previously reported, One Life to Live alum, Dan Gauthier will make his on-screen debut as the recast Peter Blake, the brother of Kristen DiMera and the adoptive brother to the rest of the DiMera clan. The character of Peter has not been on the canvas for over 27 years when he was last played by Jason Brooks from 1993 to 98. When anyone last heard from Peter, he had escaped prison and gone on the run. That will all change with the Friday, December 19th episode. Dan teased on his arrival to TV Guide magazine, "I don't want to give up too much, because that's the fun." The surprise to viewers is him being there or how he is there. TVG also shared he will share scenes with Kristen, Chad DiMera, and Tony DiMera, and more. Elsewhere, after Alex opens a letter containing an anthrax-like substance that flew into the air, believed to be aimed at Stephanie, the two go into emergency mode and absolute panic, drawing in the Salem PD, the university hospital staff, and the entire town of Salem. How dangerous is this biological threat? Could this also be the beginning of Stephanie's new normal? Is Jeremy Horton, or the upcoming return of Wes Ramsey as potentially reprising his previous 2009 Days role of Owen Kent, responsible for this biological weapon hitting town in envelopes? Stay tuned! Remember when Days of Our Lives, Stefano DiMera was the all-powerful Phoenix, with new children popping up every few years, as he moved players and pawns around his chessboard and ruled lives while returning from the dead with ease? He even ran an international crime syndicate while doing it. Well, now Stefano is dead. His kids are always bickering, squabbling, landing in jail, clawing each other for control of the company, and now a bunch of them are stuck in a crypt eating chicken out of a can, as well as pretzels and crackers. And the Kiriakis clan managed to take over the family company, which is apparently now a legit organization, with stockholders and everything. Stefano would be appalled, but at least the crypt dwellers gave us a fun week. So, pick up those scoopers and let's dig in. At first, we thought someone was just after the DiMera siblings, but Theo's appearance in the crypt put a damper on that theory. Theo came up with his very own theory that whoever kidnapped them and is keeping them hostage wants DiMera with power. But what kind of power does Chad have? He has never been a DiMera CEO, has no desire to be a DiMera CEO, and runs a small local newspaper, which isn't exactly an international conglomerate. They also now know that EJ is not the one behind this because he is also in the crypt with them. He might still be unconscious, but he is there, as are many dead bodies. However, the only dead body they seem to be concerned with is the one that they came across while digging with their hands and a few small candle sconces. We have no idea why Chad immediately decided those bones had to belong to Abigail when even we could see what Theo saw, that those bones were way too big to belong to a wisp of a woman like Abigail, much less a woman at all. As an aside, are there soundproof bedrooms in the crypt that had Kristen and Tony snoozing so soundly that they didn't hear anyone else being dropped off? Also, the assumption that Theo had to have been kidnapped because he was late to a date and his phone turned up outside the Brady pub was really quite a leap, but at least it is the correct leap. We admit, we did wonder about EJ for a bit because he is clearly up to something ungood in that lab, and in the tunnels where Dr. Rolfe had set up house. Are EJ's machinations related to whatever is going on in the crypt, but he just doesn't notice? Watching EJ plan and plot with Gwen for months had us sure he was somehow behind Tony's initial disappearance. After all, how can there be two DiMera mysteries on one show that sometimes doesn't even give us more than 32 minutes of storytelling? With Susan also now involved, do both of these plots have to do with Marlena's mind, body, and soul? 'Cause none of those things are doing very well right now. Marlena was clearly around one too many mosquitoes this year, as she is now stuck in a bed in University Hospital with Lyme disease after pacemaker surgery. She is also quite sad because Brady was still not talking to her and even moved out of her apartment they like to call a townhouse, despite the fact that it is not a townhouse. She is also seeing patients from her hospital bed, as Leo and Xander say they just want to visit and bring flowers, but end up using the visit as a therapy session. At least Marlena likes them and we like them. In fact, we love Leo and Xander because they are two men who have done so much wrong in their lives and now only want to do right. We love a good redemption arc and love people who can take accountability for their actions and try to be better people. Marlena clearly loves people like that too, and that is why we love her. And it's also why we are still mad at Brady. Brady and Sarah live together now, which means that Brady's anger at Marlena is one of the most obvious plot devices we have ever seen. How cliché to put this chemistry-less potential couple under the same roof in close proximity. Half-naked meet-cutes in the upstairs hallway? Check. Long, lingering stares with nervous laughter? We got that too. It's just a cacophony of stereotypical soap nonsense we don't need. Xander and Sarah are endgame. Brady is forever directionless while falling for women who end up with someone else. Rinse, repeat. Maybe when Kristen is finally found in the crypt, he can offer his baby mama a well-deserved apology. We still don't know what Sophia's game is, except wanting to cause mischief in Bayview and have someone be her lookout and decoy so she can run out and get some burgers. Did Amy leave her with a debit card? A phone with her debit card downloaded? A wad of cash? How did she even pay for these burgers she and Rachel shared? She talks about wanting to get home, but all she has to do is open her mouth and speak to anyone but Rachel to speed that along. Stephanie has a stalker again. Sigh. Really, that's all we have to say there. Oh, and Stephanie is suddenly gun-shy about having kids. Make Stephanie just make sense, please. Wait, so Gabby still doesn't like our beloved Leo after all this time? Why? Make this make sense too, please. And who does Rafe even work for? Is it the FBI? The ISA? Himself? Since when does the ISA assign interagency partners? Kat is Rafe's partner while she is an ISA agent, and he is an FBI agent? Yep, another story that just needs to make sense. Please! EJ is discovered unconscious as the DiMera kidnapping saga grows stranger. Susan follows her instincts, Steve and Jada chase shaky leads, and Alex worries about a hidden stalker. But are Salem's players uncovering facts or chasing what they want to believe? Monday's Days of Our Lives episode on December 15th pulls another character into the DiMera kidnapping mess while panic spreads across Salem for very different reasons. As EJ's disappearance takes a surprising turn, suspicion, intuition, and half-formed conclusions begin to drive the action. With multiple investigations unfolding at once, the line between truth and assumption feels thinner than ever. Chad and Theo stumble upon an unconscious EJ, instantly turning the situation into an uncomfortable family reunion. Once he comes around, they update him on the chaos surrounding the DiMera family and the growing belief that someone inside the circle may be responsible for the purge. Even with EJ back in the picture, doubts linger. Chad and Theo may fill him in, but it does not mean they fully trust him. The timing of his condition raises eyebrows, especially as Rafe becomes confident that he knows who is behind everything. EJ's situation could easily be seen as a way to shift suspicion away from himself, leaving everyone to wonder whether he is victim or strategist. Susan's instincts take over. Susan reacts strongly to EJ's disappearance, leaning heavily on her emotions and instincts. Her protectiveness goes into overdrive, though it does not lead her to the family crypt where EJ has been held. Instead, her feelings point her toward Gwen. Acting on that instinct, Susan confronts Gwen directly. The encounter is aggressive, but unlikely to produce any real answers. Susan believes deeply in her intuition, but whether it is guiding her toward the truth or simply fueling her anger remains unclear. For now, her actions add more noise than clarity to an already confusing situation. Steve continues digging into Stephanie's stalker, focusing on the unsettling figure known for typing messages from behind a leather jacket. At the same time, Jada searches for the missing DiMera items and the person who took them. Both investigators believe they have made progress. Still, confidence does not equal certainty. Their so-called breakthroughs may be shaped more by hope than evidence. Elsewhere, Alex worries about Stephanie's safety and wants to confront the stalker directly, though that plan falls apart if the culprit stays hidden. Jeremy denies any involvement when questioned by Maggie, leaving open the question of whether he is truly innocent or simply careful. Salem chases instincts, suspicions, and shadows, but whether anyone is actually closer to the truth remains very much in doubt. The drama in Salem reaches new heights on Friday, December 12th. Key relationships face major tests. According to spoilers, Stephanie and Alex discuss their future. Meanwhile, Maggie's actions trigger a strong reaction from Jeremy. The upcoming episode promises significant shifts for several characters. Fans can expect emotional confrontations and risky plans. The episode streams exclusively on Peacock. Stephanie and Alex have been growing closer. Their romance has recently hit the milestone of moving in together. Now, Alex is hopeful about marriage as a potential endgame. Their conversation on December 12th will focus on this future. Will they agree to take the next step? The discussion may also touch on starting a family down the line. In another part of town, Maggie upsets Jeremy. He has been insisting he is a changed man since returning to Salem. Few residents truly believe his claims of transformation. Maggie's words trigger a strong reaction from him. He may be frustrated by constant suspicion. This clash could reveal if Jeremy's change is genuine or just another act. Gwen protests when EJ DiMera decides to target Leo Stark. This is a surprising move from Gwen. She and Leo have a long and complicated friendship history. Her defense of Leo might signal a softening towards her former best friend. It could be the start of a reconciliation for their fractured bond. This development adds a new layer to the ongoing DiMera-related scheming. At the same time, Rafe Hernandez issues a warning to Kat. She has been spending considerable time with EJ. Her mission involves digging up dirt through risky maneuvers. Rafe's warning is likely about the danger of exposure. Kat's actions could blow their entire plan. EJ is a powerful DiMera, and careless moves might ruin everything. Chad DiMera expresses his fears to Theo Carver. They are trapped in the DiMera crypt with others. The group recently made a grim discovery of human bones. The captives are growing increasingly worried. They are trying to understand why they have been imprisoned. Chad's fears likely center on his children, Thomas and Charlotte. Their situation grows more desperate by the day. The December 12th episode moves these tense storylines forward. Answers may finally be within reach for the trapped group. The December 12th episode delivers crucial character moments and advancing plots. These Days of Our Lives spoilers point to a dramatic installment. Tune in to see which relationships survive the day's turmoil. iNews covers the latest and most impactful stories across entertainment, business, sports, politics, and technology. From AI breakthroughs to major global developments, stay updated with the trends shaping our world. For news tips, editorial feedback, or professional inquiries, please email us at info@zoombangla.com.